I back? Looks like I'm back. That was weird. It might only be back for a second. All I did was stop the stream and restart it again. So let's see where we go. I asked him what he did as punishment.
I don't rightly know. This was the Source King's way. Befriend you, then destroy you. I was a fool to expect I'd be an exception. His favor was intoxicating. That's no excuse, but it is the reason.
Sure. I'll agree to help him break his soul jar.
Really? You would?
I don't see why not.
He drops to his knees before you and grabs onto your feet with both hands, head hanging.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I get 19 physical, 4 magic armor pants, which would give me 8 more armor, 1 magic armor for myself, along with the Constitution Perseverance. I don't know what Perseverance does. I'd have to go check the stat. I can get a chest armor with 5 physical and 27 magic armor, with 1 strength and 1 huntsman. I wouldn't use it for myself. It'd probably go to like a Fane or someone. Wouldn't get the dagger, wouldn't get the bow, because Fane's using a better one. So it comes down to the chest armor or the pants. I'm thinking the pants. Pants are a very sizable, big upgrade. Versus, even if I give it the chest armor to a Fane, it's only... He'd only get benefit from the 1 huntsman. He wouldn't benefit from the strength because none of his stuff is physical. None of his stuff is strength based. It's finesse base. Though that is a lot of magic armor that he'd be getting. I'm also getting a helm, which I think I'll end up using on a Fane, because it's got both finesse and huntsman on it. And I get another Venom Rune. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the pants from my character. So let's put that on. Let me double check to see, does this guy got good pants? Nope. 10 and 2. So I ended up getting like a side grade for the Red Prince at the same time. I also get the helm, so let's go check out a Fane. Yeah, I'm trading the Warfare for Finesse and Huntsman, which is fine because Finesse is increasing my base attacks, which is what all of his attacks are. Anyway, so I think the 5% physical I'm getting makes up for it with the 5% damage I'm getting from this. And then the Huntsman makes it so that I'm doing more damage when I'm on high ground. So that's fine. I'll put that on. The Warfare would be more beneficial for the Red Prince, even though I'd get 3 less magic armor because it's not that important, especially since I'm not benefiting from the Aerotherge stat thing on the current helm. But I kind of like the look of the magical cap. I like having this big giant T-Rex skull for a helmet. Oh, it does. It looks the same anyways? Okay. Alright. I wonder if these paintings are worth anything. It's only worth 40. So I got these other soul jars
The jar before you may have looked opulent once, but no longer. Now it's covered in grime, its paint chipped away, and its jewels long stolen. The soul jar rocks slightly, light flashing from underneath its lid. On its rim, you can just barely make out the name Gratiana. As soon as you touch the jar's cracked surface, you see a vision of splendor, silks, fine food, and decadent lechery. But underneath it all lies bone and blood. The vision shifts. You see burning villages, slaughtered women and children. You see her, purging wand in hand, standing amongst it all. She throws her head back and laughter echoes in your skull. A shadow falls across her, and you see a large, weeping face. She reaches out as if to comfort, but Bracchus drags her back. You see her fall into the mire of the swamp, trapped. As you pull your hand away, you can feel a deep, longing sadness in your soul. Is it regret, or just sadness for a life that used to be?
I leave the jar alone.
The terrible vision fades.
I say Gratania used the pain and deaths of others for her pleasure. She should be damned until the end of time.
Gratiana's life was selfish and hedonistic. No mercy.
Whatever a person may have done in life, they can always be redeemed.
However her life began, it ended well. No one should be damned because of their youth.
There must be a reason that I'm allowed to take these with me.
The jar sits still. It seems inert.
I'm gonna slip the jar into my backpack?
Nice.
I can do that? Oh, it sells for 120. Can I still put it on the ground and then interact with it? Oh yeah, I can.
The jar sits still. It seems inert.
Oh, now I can't.
The jar sits still. It seems inert.
I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. Heart of the Tyrant.
Good find.
Artifacts of the Tyrant. What's this? A scorching aura burns from the heart of the tyrant. It may be too hot to handle. This must also be part of that cursed armor set. I think it goes with the Captain's Dexterous Heals. One second. Alright, back. Okay, so I've already fucked up and we talked to this captain.
A soul jar rests between two fallen columns, emanating a faint odor of seaweed and timber. When you touch the glass, your vision wavers. You emerge on the prow of a fine ship. Your armor pulses with enchantment, dominating those who draw near. Your flag flies for Bracchus Rex, a tyrant who traded for your soul. With his power, your flesh and blood is no longer relevant. The vision fades as the soul thrashes, trying to sever your connection.
Multi-Torx is telling me that willing the full Tyrant set will make it so I can't be cursed from the individual pieces. Yeah, the quest I think mentioned that, or someone was talking about the full set. That as long as I had the full set, I could break the curse or whatever. Okay, the vision fades as the soul thrashes, trying to sever my connection. What am I doing here? I don't have the same options like I did the other two. I either chase the soul into darkness and catch it, or I lead it to the light. I'm gonna What? I'm gonna lead it to the light, I guess?
To be soulless is a horrible, empty fate. You seek out Brachus's vault, but the moment you reach the soul jar, he ensnares you. Thus imprisoned, you can only dream about what is out of reach. Your soul, and that alluring armor. The vision shatters as the soul squirms away from you, curling up in the bottom of the jar. The soul jar pulses with trapped life force.
I'm gonna store the soul jar in my backpack.
Lucky find.
I'm gonna put it down here. I'm gonna pick up the... Oh, okay, cool. So I can't pick it up. I'm gonna pick up all of these. Pick up.
Nice.
Pick up. I haven't talked to any of these guys. I'm assuming they're somewhere on the island, just like that other skeleton that I ran into at one point. So I'm gonna keep these for right now until I run into them, because I don't want to fuck up some quest that they could potentially give me.
The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of vandalism.
I think there's something strange about the statue. Look it over with great care.
As you take in its chiseled details, you have a vision. The statue comes to life and embraces you awkwardly with its broken arms. Unable to resist, you're flown away into an endless dark.
Oh.
That shrine seems to have brought me here. What is this place?
Quackus, where are we?
And we brought the scroll with us.
Oh, how pensively our shield looks down upon us. Ask away, shield.
Okay, we got something called the Armory quest? The Armory. Perhaps we can use our new power on the cursed lever. We didn't get a new power. Unless it's talking... No, it can't be talking about the scroll. Where are we?
You walk towards the figure on the dais, but wisps of mist start to cloud your vision. With each step, the mist gets thicker, hiding the figure from sight.
Fane. Fane.
That voice. I know it. I rush towards the sound.
You push through the fog, chasing the voice at breakneck speed. You trip and start to fall, but catch yourself against a bookcase. You look around in shock as the mist clears. You are standing in a library. Your library. You hear a cough behind you and turn to see your assistant, Harina. She hands you a thick book. Observations on the Universal Veil. You look at her in confusion as she explains, "You asked me to bring you your research, Master Fane, for your guest." As you walk through the library, Harina expresses her condolences. It is a shame that the king forbade further investigation into the veil. It was a fascinating topic. She leads you to a door, your study, and pushes it open to introduce your visitor. You step through the door and see the Lady Amadia, one of the 7 lords.
I bow deeply and welcome the matron into my humble office.
Oh, please, there is no need for ceremony or dusty titles. You may address me as Amadia. I must say, you created quite a stir earlier, dear Fane. The other lords and I were quite impressed with your research. We believe the king's decree that you should not investigate the veil was misguided. We would like to view more of your research. And I see you have already brought me some reading material. Kindly give it here, my boy.
I hand her my book of research.
She thanks you with a smile and thumbs through the pages, engrossed by your work.
Yes, quite fascinating. A barrier of pure source. Do you truly think this veil is the key to unlocking a new future?
I answer cautiously. The king thinks it's dangerous. He says that if the veil's been created to hold something back, perhaps there's a reason for it.
Yes, so we gathered. We found it strange that the king would refuse you the chance to explore something that could be so beneficial to our people. But perhaps there are still paths we can walk. Perhaps.
There is a crash of timber behind you, and you can feel hands grabbing you. You are dragged backwards as Amadia screams. The screams fade to nothing, as does the scene before you. You're standing on the cold, glowing stones once more, with Lady Amadia before you.
Fane, darling Fane. I had to know. I had to be sure. If you were not who you claimed, it could have been a disaster.
I respond with, she's real. She's actually real. Beg her to tell you where the others are. You can't find your people anywhere.
Peace, my child. You will have your answers, but I may only give one at a time. First, you must understand the madness the king unleashed on the world.
Madness? What madness? Demand she tells us what's going on.
We know why the king forbade your research. He already knew about the Veil, Fane. He was draining its power, leeching from it to build up his own strength. When we confronted him about this betrayal, he used his power to try and subdue us, to turn us to slaves.
I stare in shock. The king wanted to enslave his own people? That doesn't make any sense.
He wasn't satisfied with our fealty. He wanted total control. His madness for power knew no limits.
There's a lot of stuff happening in the background because the screen keeps shaking along with noises, like combat.
We fought, of course. The king scorched our land, but by uniting, we overcame his evil. He was banished beyond the veil he had tried to subvert, but our victory was hollow. Our people, oh my child, they were erased, destroyed utterly. We seven were all that remained.
The news hits you like a warhammer to the chest. Your people, gone. It can't be.
I fear that it is. But you must steel yourself. The fight is not yet done. For centuries, the king has been searching for a way back into our world. And beyond the veil, he found the force that could help him do it. The Void. The moment we discovered the Void, we understood the veil was created to hold it at bay by powers even more ancient than us. But thanks to the king, that evil has been seeping through the cracks. We have contained both ever since, but now, alas, they are winning.
But how? What's changed that made it so that the king is not winning?
I fear we are no longer united. I fear, well...
Amadia turns and gestures to the scene behind her. Down below, you can see the 6 other gods fighting, clawing at each other, everyone desperately trying to get the upper hand.
Over the centuries, the drip of void into this world corrupted the others while they played with their mortal races. I fear it is too late for them, for us. But you, Fane, you have been untouched by it all.
Why are we different?
The world needs a power to protect it, and you are the key, Fane. But you have fallen so far.
I nod. I haven't felt whole for many centuries. Many centuries.
You will feel whole once again, child. You have my word. I will guide you, but first you must return to the world and escape that island. But you will return more powerful. As your first step towards righting the wrongs of this world, I grant you my blessing and give you the ability to bless in turn.
See, this is this is the ability we needed earlier. I'm assuming we can take out the Necrofire. We needed it to uncorrupt a switch to go deeper into a dungeon.
Amadia stretches her hand out, and you feel a warm glow spread through your bones. You feel a sensation that you have not felt in a very, very long time.
You may have noticed I have tried to help you on your journey, that I can bless the very water beneath your feet. Now you have that power for yourself. And this is only the beginning. More and greater powers await you, if only you will seek them. And seek them you must. But before you begin, a word of warning. I gather that you travel with a pack of these lesser creatures.
I nod. I found them most insightful.
It is only natural after so long spent alone. But you must be wary. Some of these creatures are more dangerous than they seem.
I've pretty much perceived that with Luis being kind of crazy, shifting back and forth between, the black demonic eyes is kind of a really big indicator. I didn't need to be a god to know that.
They are God-woken, the chosen champions of the other 6 gods.
They must be referring also to the other 2 characters I didn't take with us. So what, the dwarf and the elf? No, even then there would only be 5. Who's the 6th one?
And then there is the one you know as Losa. She is something else. Something wicked. You must beware of her above all others. For they will all walk the same path as you, but they cannot be allowed to reach its end. You must be the one. Only one of our people can wield this power. Only you, Fane.
She lays her hand on your skull, and you see it clearly. The others, the gods, Amadia, and you. You are her chosen. You are her God-woken.
So go forth into the world with my blessing, dear one. Heed my words and go.
Blessed branches, we've returned. Every second we spent in that hellish place was a second the great acorn drew closer. Interesting. You thought it was interesting, Quercus? Do you know what's interesting? Watching an entire world be strangled by the roots of doom, seeing the giant races fall like leaves in frost, hearing the screams of... I don't know what you're talking about. I am perfectly calm.
I like this voice actor.
Anyway, as interesting as that cold hellscape might have been, it does not solve our problem. We are here to stop the great acorn, not hide from it.
I respond with, saving the world is no small task. How can I help?
It's already helping more than it knows, Quercus. The fate of the world depends on our ability to research a spell to protect Rivellon. We need to travel across the land, gathering clues, experimenting with different magics, and come up with a spell to shield Rivellon from its doom. Of course, for us to do that, we must avoid being eaten by the servants of the Great Acorn. And that is where our big, foolhardy shield comes in.
Insist that I can do more than just kill Voidwoken for him.
Quercus, it thinks it can use magic at our level. I don't know if that's adorable or just sad.
Fuck you.
No, I am not going to share our magic with it. I don't care how much you like it, Quercus. Very well, I cannot give it magic, but I can